I am Evil Baby. And I am the humble Mr. Brando.
Booyah! In effect. Man, how y'all doing tonight? Got some gangsters in the house tonight. Miss BB is sketching out her numbers. I'm going to give mine a little bit more freely.
If I knew about this, I would have came prepared.
Well, that's the whole thing. I want you to be prepared so you're prepared.
I am, but this isn't in my office at work because I've been working on this. So I crunch numbers for a living. So yeah, I have to analyze, research, that part.
Okay, well, this is all about what are you going to do right now under the crunch, no prep, everybody's ready.
And it shouldn't be no crunch.
Well, there's no crunch at all if you think about it from the fact that you have time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so if you prepared something and you have some ideas written out, and you obviously have a spreadsheet there and some other things that are...
And then I have to read up, these are numbers, but I also want to back it with stuff. So I got 2 picks, but I'm only going to share one tonight. So
I think the other part of this is that you've got to look back at yourself and say, well, am I as prepared as they are prepared?
Well, and then I should bring my scores from work because they did a test on me. And so they said that 1, I'm a teacher. 2, I'm a strategic thinker.
Okay.
Strategic thinker and something else. I got the paper downstairs. I should go get it.
Why you go get it?
Okay.
Wait.
Okay.
All right, Miss BB wants to go get her aptitude test.
It's not an aptitude test.
But it's not about aptitude. It's about where you're at in the investment and what are you going to do with the tools that you do have in front of you to maximize what your earnings are going to be. And to maximize, you don't necessarily have to be a mathematician. You don't have to be that person that is ultimately the most gifted or skilled person in your class. But what you do have to do is develop a plan. Now, I think in everybody that has a plan. Now, here's my question. There's 23 people in here, and we have exactly 8 likes. We should have 23 likes. For our own gang, I think one thing that should be mandatory is a like. Everybody should have to like it. I'm just saying.
I like it as soon as I remind. Like you go in once I schedule it, and then I hit like, and I'm done.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Miss BB, I got 3 perspectives over here, right? Oh my God. Can I just do this real quick? This is Miss BB's paper, y'all.
No, that's not.
Hold on.
Not co-worker's name. Sorry.
Okay, that's Miss BB's papers with all kinds of graphs and stuff.
So, I took a leadership test to focus on my strengths. And I'm an executor. I like executing. Okay. And I'm a strategic thinker.
Wow.
So, what does that mean? I'm super analytical. I'm intellection.
Hold on, you're shaking.
Am I? Oh
Calm
my
down.
gosh. Because I ran up the stairs. I was so excited.
Okay. What does it say about influencing?
Influencing? Well, okay, so here's the other thing.
Okay.
Let me see. And I know y'all hate Obama, but I took a Myers-Briggs exam, and I am an ENFJ. And so is Obama. So what does that mean? What's an ENJ? I'm an extrovert.
You're an extrovert?
Yeah. You think I'm an introvert?
I think you have very introverted. Well, I do. So
it's so interesting you say that, right? You know why? Why do you think that?
Why?
Because I'm a relator. I select the people that I choose to be around, and normally it's close people that I can tell my flaws to and kind of analyze things. So my circle is very tight knit. I don't just let anybody in.
Wow.
Right. All of this from this test. It's so interesting. Right. And then they said that like I like to like think about things, sit back, reassess out. I'm going to come home to you and discuss it with you. And then you're going to be like, well, can I tell you what I think? Which you've done it before. Like, well, can I, do you mind? You know, sometimes you'd be like, oh, she's going to go off on me. But it's like, can I? I'm like, yeah. And then I'll sit back and think about it. You don't think I do that?
You do quite often. Or you do like a lot of times what you do yesterday was you have a project in front of you and you're like, hey, I want your opinion about it. And so I get all prepared for the opinion. And then you're like, you don't really want my opinion. You just want me to be around for your opinion. And I'm not mad at that.
You know what?
And I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Yesterday, I think we were doing a whole bunch of things, but I didn't even want to do it, to be honest with you.
Well, right? I know, but you like stopped me and you were like, hey, look, I want you to read this contract.
And then we never got to it.
And no, I was sitting, I all my stuff. I was sitting there and you were like, well, and I wasn't mad about that, but this is what I'm saying about planning.
Yeah.
Everybody plans differently.
Well, that was a fire. That was no plan. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a contract writer. I didn't go to my new job to write contracts. They didn't have a legal team.
But that's not my point. My point is this.
So, but normally I plan and I normally over.
Right, but what I'm saying for someone like you is like this. Plans are like your whole thing. Like you plan for everything.
Yeah.
Okay, me, I kind of go. You know what I'm saying? I go. And then when I see stuff, I do it or I don't do it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying like this. I'm saying like this. There's nothing wrong with having a plan. And there's nothing wrong with kind of like having a plan, but kind of going. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing is you have to think about things from every angle, right?
Okay, hold on. That's why I would say this, babe. That's why you hold the amount of IQ you have and the amount of digital currency you have. And that's why I hold just the opposite. Right. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes total sense.
Because I can't control.
I constantly hedge my bet. And so at my last job, when other employees came to me and they were concerned about the outcome, right? I'm a plan A, B, and C person. You'll never catch me without a backup plan. So when people throw things at me, sometimes I'm like, well, wait a minute. Did you think about this? Like, I want to think about what's the worst case scenario, right? And sometimes, like, even with you like, oh, the sky's falling. No, you got to think about.
Hold on. When do I ever say the sky's falling?
No, I mean, like, for me, like, you sometimes you feel like when I come at you with like, well, did you think about this, right? You like, well, because you be so level 10, you ready to go. You don't want to hit a wall.
But wait a minute, what walls are you hitting with?
We're not going to talk about it here, but I'm just saying in general, and that's why sometimes if I got an idea, I'll keep it to myself before I share it with you, because I want to look at, okay, do we think about this? Do we think about that? Okay, here I am, I'm coming with you with this. So like that spreadsheet, oh baby, I've been working on that for weeks, but you didn't know about that sheet. But when you see the results of that sheet and when you see it in action, you're gonna be like, let's do it. I know you. You're gonna be like, let's do it. I already made money off of that sheet. Okay, you didn't even know. I had to do a test. You know, I like to run tests. Like, let me see. Dollar per stock, already up, already going. It's already there.
Okay.
And it's gonna pay dividends quarterly. So that's why I'm gonna give you one pick tonight. One pick.
Okay, but no, the whole idea is an exchange. So you're going to exchange your money. You're going to set up your infrastructure to your empire, right?
Yes.
Whether it's your pick or it's your infrastructure, that's what I'm more after because people want more. I don't need to crunch the numbers. I have a plan, a strategic plan about what I want to do. And I have it memorized. That's how in-depth I am on my plan.
Right.
Now, I don't have the numbers written down because the numbers are unknown, unknowable to the fault of what's going to happen, okay? So Pempe also has a plan. And so I thought everybody loves Pempe, or most everybody loves Pempe, right? And so I thought I would call Uncle Luke and ask him his plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we can mix it up. Whoever wants to go first can go first, or who can go second. If you want me to go first, because my plan is the most interesting and probably the most well thought out of the 3 plans, I get it. But if you want me to go ahead and get Miss BB or Uncle Luke to do their plan first, and we can go ahead and do a vote right now. We have 23 people, so that's an uneven number. How many people want to go first? Miss BB, go. Hey, Uncle Luke.
What's going on?
Hey, bro, what's going on, man?
Not a whole lot.
Okay, listen. So we got basically 15 minutes apiece, okay?
Okay.
Each of us give your plan after the exchange without interruption. You can ask a question, but you can't argue it, okay?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I got Miss BB sitting here. She's got a plan. I got a plan. You got a plan. So what I'm trying to get out is now, who wants to go first? Do we want to say ladies first? You want to go first?
Ladies go first.
No.
No. The ladies go first.
I'm not a lady today.
Hold on one second, okay?
Okay.
Look, it's like I said, you guys need. I told him he
Alert
he
from
sit down, cut it all down. I
no
don't care.
backups for
But I'll have the
1484.
voice album. We'll clear that shit out tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, who's he talking to? You or
I know.
His
My
neighbor.
neighbors.
Oh, you know we live.
So
Okay, sorry about that.
no, it's cool.
All right, Jay, thanks. It looks good. Our fences where we live. So our fences have been up for a while. So what happens when the bad storm came through, it kind of blew like 3 houses worth of fences down. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, oh man. So we've been trying to find somebody who knows what the hell they're doing. Because you get all these people that swear, oh yeah, I know a friend of a friend, and then when you get them out here, you realize they don't know shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you know, this gentleman here that's doing my neighbor's fence, his shit looks good. You know, I thought mine looks like crap. So I told him, can you come over and take a look at it? But we got a lot of shit to start. We got a lot of trees that are pushing up from the bottom, you know, like the roots and stuff. Well, I know you guys don't want to hear all that, but anyways. All right, so ladies first.
Oh, I was gonna let y'all go first.
I mean, I don't mind going first if you guys want to hear my idea, but
Yeah, it's fine. It don't make a difference.
Pimpe, you want to go first? It don't matter to me.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I go first.
Okay, Pimpe, what is your real strategic plan? When
Are you
I mean,
guys on right now?
yeah, we're on right now. You're live.
You're live.
I was all trying to get settled in the house.
Dart barking and all. We live.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Just set up a storm. You guys didn't even say nothing. Okay. So hold on, let me get my dog. Somebody else go first. We're gonna put you on mute and leave it on.
Okay.
I gotta sit the dog.
Okay. Go ahead, babe. You go first.
You want me to go
Of
first?
course.
Okay, well, I'll go first. So what's my strategic plan after the reinstatement? So I plan on dividing my currency up amongst different exchanges, meaning that when the exchange comes out and it's readily available to everybody, I plan on exchanging a certain amount. Right after that, I plan on totally setting up, hiring the business manager or business attorney, foundation attorney, a couple other legal people in space, hiring a few people, underlings to set up the foundation. Then I plan on, at that point, seeing where I'm at in the exchange after my days of rest. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to decree my declaration. Maybe I'll declare it once, or maybe I'll have it declared over several payments. But my whole plan after the exchange is not to go out and buy a new house or go out and buy a new car. It's to make sure that all the infrastructure is in place for what I'm calling a couple different factions of this group. One, the credit union, and one, the foundation group. I think that it's really noteworthy for people to understand that for me, the exchange is not about how much I get. Does that make sense? It is about how much I get. Let me change that again.
I hear you. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not in this to exchange for $1. If it came out at $1, I'm not going to change all my currency, if that makes sense. I'm in this to go in there and hodl it a little bit for at least 90 days. Then once I start the foundation, I start the credit union, then I'll look towards me and the business manager attorney going out, starting to acquire doors immediately. Like, I want to have my first 100 doors within the first 45 to 90 days. I want to start that. I want to make sure that income in those doors is at least 80% occupied, so it cash flows immediately. And then I also want to, in the meantime, look at least 10 to 15 new businesses that are in the foundation's path that will add to the infrastructure of the company. Now, I also want to at least pledge to everybody that will at least make 3 to 4 loans for small to medium enterprise. I already pledged $1 million to Miss BB, so I'll put that pledge in for her to do what she wants to do. And I have no control over that income, so that's my second source. My third source, besides the foundation and Miss BB's digital enterprise, will be the real estate effort we put in place. So that's 3. 4 will be multimedia. I think at that point, if I had to put my money into anything, I would put my money into a facet that I know has a closed caption audience that's built upon this platform that will go into owning my own network. I mean, literally network, like Viceland or Travel or whatever. I want to put together a platform that employs a lot of people, that puts in programming, practical investment for the everyday person. Besides all the basic stuff, like putting in place, like, retirement, or putting in place like stuff as, having like in Roth IRA. I mean, that all comes with a given based upon it. But the idea is that I will have in place the infrastructure for the business that I want to carry on with. I don't want to get too much into the major ideas of it, because it's thought through, but it's not fully researched. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't want to say something to become false, because I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? But I think for me, more so about exchanging at that point is to be able to take that first vacation, breathe, and start the infrastructure for everything I want to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Because
I think everybody should do that. I agree 100%. I'm not trying to interrupt you, but I think that's the first thing is right.
I think this is a question a lot of people are asking: when are you going to retire? I'm never going to retire. I'm only going to allocate my funds differently so I can enjoy the lifestyle I want based upon that. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like, I got like 2 more minutes. Okay. So once I do that and the infrastructure in place, I start loaning out money. The kangaroos start to see a return on their investment. Then the multimedia platform is going to treat us just like, any like Grant Cardone or all these other different people. Like, that's my big dream, is to help people succeed. That's my big dream. You know what I'm saying? Through mentorship and education. So once I achieve that, I mean, the rest of the money I'm not really worried about. Does that make sense?
Oh, sorry, Susan said something funny. She said you're going to be able to pick up CNN real cheap. Now, that's funny. Oh, my goodness.
Well, and I mean, this is my thing. If I could buy CNN and reprogram it, I would.
Oh, yeah.
But I also know that the world's not ready for our level of realistic journalism. Does that make sense?
It's out there.
No, I understand it's out there, but it's not mainstream. I want.
agree with that. It's not mainstream. It's definitely not mainstream.
Right.
All the best, I think, which call citizenship journalism, is becoming real popular right now.
Right. Once we get all that in place, I'm a big believer in kind of going with the flow on things. The amount it's just avenues, because my whole game plan is to at least play with $5 to $10 million worth of my own money. With that, a lot of infrastructure can be done. I don't think that every business that you own has to be $1 million. It can grow from that, kind of coddle some businesses. But I think that you got to kind of understand where you're going to allocate it. I'm going to allocate most of the money that you get to a trust that, whether we can use it as a borrowing against situation, like a Swiss trust, or like, you know, like some other ideas. But I don't want to have the cash cow exposed to different, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to put that. I want to expose the different predators, if that makes sense.
Well, that's just why. You remember when that restaurant came out? Those Planet Hollywoods. Do you remember those?
Yeah, I do.
Like in the '90s, remember all the famous people were buying them, and some of them were popular. And then he started going bankrupt. Some of them.
Right.
So what they did is to avoid from the famous people getting hit with lawsuits, they filed a shell corporation for each one of the restaurants. So if one went bust, it wouldn't affect the other ones. You couldn't sue the other ones because they were under their own corporation. So what you want to do to protect yourself, it's a good idea. What you do is you just have a bunch of different shell corporations, and each one is protected from the other. That's a good idea.
Or shell trust upon shell trust upon shell trust.
Oh, yeah.
Something of that degree. You know what I'm saying? I mean, insulate yourself from not losing your principal. That's my whole point. Once you invest the money, it's gone. Get it? So if you invest $5 million and you can flip it 25 times, that original $5 million is never yours. Does that make sense? You've got to flip it and flip it and flip it, because if you don't, you'll pay taxes on it. That's first and foremost. And number two, that money can be carried on from business to business to business as capital gains, or as capital growth for that company, as anything else. So have an idea of what you want to invest immediately into businesses or some type of passive income, or just say, you know what, I want to give it to a group and let that money earn my money back. You know what I'm saying? I get that. Yeah. So my whole interest, my big interest is on passive income. Okay. So I'll stop right now because I've gone 20 minutes or 10 minutes, 15 minutes. April or Pimpe, you want to go next?
Go ahead, Pimpe.
Okay. You know, I've obviously given this a lot of thought about what I need to do. The first is just, pay off my house so I don't have to worry about mortgages. And just pay off all the bills that I have, with the only thing remaining, of course, is just your normal monthly bills that you have to pay, because there's no avoiding that unless you can find a way to get off the grid 100%, which I will put an effort in trying to do. There's no doubt that. As far as what you're saying, taking a vacation, I think everybody should do that, really, because most of us have been busting their boo-boo for 20, 30, 40 years, you know what I mean? And I don't know, we talked about this, and that is, I've never taken a real vacation but once in my life.
Right.
I mean, I'll go to some places here and there, but I never actually take a vacation because I just work and work and work.
Right.
So a good vacation is definitely in the works. But first and foremost, our celebration in Vegas, we got to do that, because I would love to meet everybody.
For sure.
Shake hands, put some faces to some names. So it's just going to be all good. But I've been planning this thing called the Spiritual Journey for a long time. There's these places around our great planet here where there's a lot of different spiritual or religious places to visit. I want to go to Peru and do ayahuasca. I want to go to India and do ayahuasca. I want to go to the Karma temple over in India. Stuff like that. I want to go to Tibet. And just look at all the different holy places to visit. Go over to Jerusalem, all that. So I have this idea to go on this, 2-month, 3-month spiritual trip and just go look at all the different great historic, places like that. It's too bad that the Notre Dame church burned down. Well, hopefully a lot of it's still preserved, because I would have liked to went in there to see that. But that's my little vacation. Now, as far as what my plans are to do, I had already started putting it in motion, and I'm setting the foundation now. I was approached about this. I put out that I wanted to do something for the homeless, and my heart is in that right now. So I've seen one hell of a plan that was laid out. It was very impressive to me. I had an opportunity to talk to a couple of people already, so the foundation is already being set. I think the plan is a great plan. I'll be more than happy to kind of share the idea with everybody once we're ready, and you can see what it looks like, because we're actually adopting another organization's blueprint. We've already talked to them about it. They're willing to teach us about what they did and then network with them to make it as successful as they are, because they're only in one location, but we want to do it everywhere. You know what I mean? We told them, look,
Right.
what you're doing is awesome, but we don't want to just do it in one place. We want to do it everywhere, and I think we have the means to do it. It just so happens that one of my partners, Ron, that when we talked to the gentleman on the phone, Ron Temple's brother is a specialist in 501Cs. He sets them up. He knows how to fundraise for them. He knows about the taxes. He knows them all. So if you guys need help, I'll be more than happy to introduce you to him. But he's going to be assisting us and organize that. So one of my biggest goals is to get this homeless situation taken care of. There's a type of community that we talked about building to assist everybody. It's not just a matter of getting them off the streets, but we want to take them off the streets, get them rehabilitated, get them checked mentally, physically, making sure if they have any kind of substance abuses, making sure they're getting treatment, offer them retraining, and making sure that we build these single unit homes. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but there's single unit homes, 2-bedroom homes. They're really tiny. They're really nice, easy to maintain. We want to make sure to give them to the homeless, give it to them, because I don't want them worrying about if somebody's going to take that away from them. It's going to be there for them to have, so that they can just turn around and start in my opinion, this is like getting back into that community feeling instead of feeling alone out there. We want them to become part of a community. So if we get enough of them together, then that is my goal. I had, for 7 years, worked on the business plan to start my own college for the longest time, but we found a way to probably marry this project that we have going on with this homeless project along with these schools, because we want to offer them trades. And so these two might actually go together. That's my big goal right now. I got a lot of people that want to contribute into this. Mostly, I appreciate the money, but mostly we're going to be looking for people who can help us by spending time. And then also, if you know people who know people, the more hookups we have, the more we network on, building materials, we want to do food trucks, so you got to hook up our trucks. Those are the type of people that we're looking to network with right now. And then to really just get the foundation going, to start building up our database of connections that we're going to need all across the United States. That's what we're working on right now. So there's that, and the school. Of course, there's a portion of money that's definitely going to be go to silver. I've talked about it a million times. But it definitely want to have that set up. And then for each one of my kids, I'll give them a little chunk of money here and there. I told them they can each have a $10,000 dinar note. That should keep them. That should give them a kickstart to go do whatever they want to do, whether they want to buy a car or go to school, do whatever. But for the most part, I just want to make sure that I can live comfortably. But I also want to, I can't just go around feeling content with my money, knowing that there's people out there that really need help and are just not getting it right now. So that's my big goal.
Okay.
Sorry, I know it sounds boring, but that's really
No. This is a brief conversation.
There is one fun thing I do want to do. My goal is to buy some of them places over in Italy. Now I do want to do
Italy.
It'd be nice
For $1 or
20,
Spain.
30 of us together, and we all went out there. You know what I mean? And rebuild those bad boys. And we had our own little kick-it spot all the way out there in Italy. That'd be great.
Trying to kick it, Pimpin'? Look at you. Italy?
I want to kick it.
We got to lie to kick it. Okay. Y'all ready for me?
Is this going to be long?
No, actually, because I have not finalized my plans, you guys. But, I will be investing the $1 million that my hubby gives me in crypto. I'll be adding a $0.5 to that. So, yeah, I could add more, but I need to do my math and some calculations.
You need to do what you said you want to do with the money you had saved.
What was that?
You had blank. You wanted to save half for half.
Okay, so
that's fine.
What?
I've got $1 million. I'll put it like this.
What I pledge for? Because I'm trying to write my.
I'll tell you this. So me and BB talk. So the dinar that she has, she wants to donate to her family and do things for her family, right? Mm-hmm. So the dinar that I have, which is a little greater than $1 million, just a little though, like maybe like 250,000.
So humble right now.
that money I plan on, using for the foundation for everything. And then, since more for some other things that are gonna be passively from it.
But you just say you're allocating $1 million to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you $1 million. Hold on. I'll go on record to say this right now. I'm gonna give her 1 million USD for her to flip digital currency. Now, there are caveats to that $1 million USD that she knows about, and those are
that you want your money back. I get that, but here's the thing: the way I'm gonna do things with this, the principal will never be touched. That's what I'm working on. That's my master plan. So I'm trying to work it where, number one, okay, I'm paying off all my debt, right? We got 2 rental properties. That's going to be cash flow coming in. So once that's paid, I'm living off of what it's paying me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's coming in the house, right? Our world will be able to go round as long as we ain't rolling in Rolls Royces and Bentleys and stuff. Because with the because
every day.
I'm conservative with my coins. Okay, so
I'm wearing a Snoopy shirt.
Let me tell you guys, if I knew we were going to do this tonight, I wouldn't have left my spreadsheet at work. But I am going to invest in the stock market, and I'll probably put a cool $1 million in there. But I'm going to do blue chip that pays back dividends. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys one pick tonight. First of all, what is it that most people can't live with it nowadays?
I can't live with my spouse.
No, can't live without. Without.
With her 1 million that I just gave her, she's invested in some stock somewhere.
And I'm never going to touch that 1 million. Watch this. But okay, you have to ask yourself, people, what is it? I don't care how times are. What is it that you cannot live without? We're all using them right now.
Cell phones, computers,
internet,
Wi-Fi.
Right. Who are the 2 largest conglomerates out there?
AT&T and Verizon.
Bingo.
Do I get a star?
We gonna about to get some money. Is what we gonna get.
How we gonna get it? I want some money.
Hold up. So I had to test my strategy out, and I'm actually, when I first met Mr. Brando, I got involved with drips, and I invested in Chevron. So that also pays lovely too, but I'm not going to give y'all the numbers on that. But AT&T is paying out a dividend August 1st, but you already had to be a stockholder. Each share of AT&T is about $33 right now. Okay. And I'm just using this stock only, but AT&T pays a handsome dividend of 51 cents. Now, the amount for the stock, $33 compared to 50 cents, not bad. You're looking at a 1.53 return on that one individual stock. Okay. So you figure, let me see if I can show y'all my notes. So I started with 100,000, my calculations, but I'm 10xing that to $1 million. So per quarter, I'm going to make $15,000 a quarter. That's $5K a month. And dividends. That's not even selling my stock. That's the dividends. So AT&T gonna issue me a check. And it varies in range on what they pay. This last quarter was 51 cents. I think the quarter before was 80 cents. So it fluctuates, but they're top dog in the game. Why? Because they own cable. They bought out Time Warner. I believe they're part of Xfinity, which you love. So they are a big conglomerate. So I would make $5K a month from that. Now, my next power move. I've always told y'all I'm bullish on Dong. If Dinar go first, I'm getting 50K at Dong. That equates to 1 billion Vietnamese Dong. Vietnamese Dong go for 4 cents. That's 44 M's. And that's a conservative number because Mr. Brando thinks much higher.
42 to like 78.
And I'm saying 4 cents, right? So that'll bring me back $44 million when it goes. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I got several, and like I said, I wasn't ready for tonight, but I have several mutual funds that I practice in my retirement portfolio. One of them performed, not this year, last year, 25%. Last year was 17%.
Nice.
So I have put that money has been involved and it has doubled. Actually, I'm at 73% return on the initial amount of what was in there. So I will do mutual funds, and I'm saying a low 10%. 10% on 250K will bring you 25,000 a year. That's what 2,000.5 a month, something like that.
Okay,
Now,
ask you something on that?
yeah, go for it.
Okay, so when you're playing with mutual funds, they got all kinds of different guys. There's foreign country developments, the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Do you happen to know are there any mutual funds for the development? Because I remember when China first came in and was allowed into the World Trade Organization, and for 3 straight years, their returns were really big. And then when Germany went in, Germany at one time, the average is, and this is not exaggeration, but it was like 90+% per year for 3 straight years, and people were rolling in the dough. So let me throw some out here like this. Do you know, are there going to be mutual funds involved in Iraq? Because those ones are going to be kicking like chicken.
Yeah, because they're going to bundle up all those stocks and all those commodities, and they're going to make funds for that. Somebody will do that. Either an Iraqi will do that. I'm sure there's already someone want to do that. I know the Asiatic company that's over there that's doing the whole cell phone company thing. Yeah. They'll probably do it for infrastructure.
Well,
Yeah, they will, and that's the whole thing that we got to decide.
We have one that encompasses all of it. It'd be like
let me tell you, Pimpe, that type of thing already exists for other countries. I got out of the one. I was in one for China, and I got out of it. So I'm sure that a fund manager over at one of your brokers will pick that up. A Merrill Lynch, a Fidelity, they're going to do that because, like I said, it just takes one fund manager, and they'll do a collection of stocks based on performance in their picks, and they'll bundle it up and make it a mutual fund. So that'll happen. That'll happen.
No, because you know what? I didn't even think about that. That's a great idea, man. It is.
Yeah.
I remember so it was my wife's grandmother. They did the German one, and that's why I remembered it. But that's a great idea. I never even thought about that. So that's a good idea.
Okay, so now the rental properties are paid off. That's 3.5K coming in the door a month, and then the crypto. So let me show you my little spread. Not my spreadsheet, my little write-ups. Where did I put that? All right. So you got the mutual funds, 2K a month. You got the rental property, 3.5K a month. You got the dividends coming in at 5K a month. And I'm going to say a conservative 10K on cryptos because it depends. And you got to sit there and really watch that stuff. You can't be leaving your money there. No, if you're going to swing trade, you got to swing trade the right way. So right now, and this is not even putting all my eggs in all these baskets, I will return back 20.5K a month and then probably stick the residual in an Ally bank account that will draw me about 2.3, 2.5%. So, and leave it just sit there so it's liquid. So if Mr. Brando and I
market account will give you about 10%.
No, that's not true. Now money market, you gotta go look that up now. The rates change.
It used to be that way. So
that you must be talking. You must be talking in the Reagan era, honey, because that ain't no.
You know what? This is sad to say, but that's literally the last time I remember that.
Me too. I was like, money market's good.
And it was around the Reagan time. I just assumed they
right. No, let me
2.4.
So let me tell you, Pimpe, right now, 2.48%. That's what your money market is doing. So
okay, what's a high yield money market though? One underneath it.
No fee. That's a Discover card. They have one.
Okay.
But here's the thing: the catch about those aren't liquid. So they don't want to hold your money for 5 years for a quarter of a point. It ain't worth it. You can make that quarter in crypto.
Well, I think if you have enough money, you can negotiate those. Because if I'm coming to the bank with like $1,000, that's one thing. But if I'm coming in the bank and I got 10 mil, that's a whole other ballgame right there.
Well,
for those that don't have 10 mil, let's say you got 100 grand, 500 grand, $1 million total.
You go in there and you say, hey, look, this is what I got. I don't mind locking it up for a little bit, but what are you going to give me? Let's talk. You know what I mean?
I agree. Everything's a negotiation.
Gosh dang it, Miss April's plans all sound good. Gosh damn it.
I know yours do too, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I want to sit down and strategize. Like, I've already behind the scenes. I done called about investing in real estate, Mr. Brando and I, and get his doors. But you got to be strategic with things. You just have to. I'm a firm believer of, one, when we pay off our debt, we're gonna make that money right back. So I want to see that money back in our bank account. And then two, I mean, I'm praying my husband agree with me. I just don't want to run through our cash quick. I really want to, I want to enjoy it, true. But I don't want to overextend ourselves. I want to make sure we're solid, where we're not touching our principal whatsoever.
Once we set the boundary for what we're going to spend, whatever that number is, I don't ever plan on spending past that as far as the principal goes. So meaning that
but see, it takes a lot of discipline. What you guys are saying are great damn ideas. Okay, just think about what Miss April said a little while ago about the phone stocks in which she was approximately every 3 months about 15,000. Look, if you can't live and find a way to live off $5,000 a month, again, man, you don't deserve this kind of money, because that's ridiculous money. That's all your bills are paid off, and all you do is get your monthly bills, and that thing's paying you $15 every quarter. That's $5,000 a month, and you don't touch the principal. Let the money work for you. Don't work for the money.
Do you know, one time, I'll tell you guys a secret. One time I had a friend that told me, I'll give you $3 million cash or pay you $2,500 a week for the rest of your life. And I was like, man, give me $3 million cash. That's the wrong answer. Give me money every week to eat off of, and I'll eat.
Pimp.
You'll fix your own, your budget for what it needs to be, right?
So, okay, so Pimpe, let's rewind. 3 months ago, we were having a conversation about stock. And remember, I told you, because I got this stock on my list. Remember, I told you, I said, something's that Heinz ketchup is calling me. It was a Heinz stock. Remember us talking about that?
There was another one too with it.
But hold on, let's say that for a second. So remember, I kept saying there's something about it. And you was like, yeah, they've had some financial issues, blah, blah, blah. So I'm running my dividend game numbers and I'm looking over it. And I wish I would have went with my first thought, because that stock was low. Do you know they just paid a 40-cent dividend? I did not know that. On $1 million, you would make $13,000 a quarter off of that stock. And actually, Warren Buffett holds several $million in Heinz, so it ain't never going nowhere. He picked it up, so I just had to share that with you. But
what was the other one? The one you're talking about? Remember, I said, well, until you know for sure what the story is on that lawsuit that's pending, was that Heinz?
It was Heinz.
Okay, there you go. My bad.
Yeah, it was Heinz. But once I started doing my research, I found out Warren Buffett was involved. I'm like, that stock, they solid, they good. And he put several M's behind it. Several.
Well, I think what people need to think of is like blue chip stocks or like stable coins and cryptocurrencies. Right. They usually stay around the same in value, but it's the dividends that you want off that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they don't worry about when it go up or down 3%, 5%, 10%. They don't care. They just leave it in there, and they're living off the goodies they get from the stock.
Right,
you
right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the way to look at it. So it's a great approach.
And I would stay away from your high stocks, like Apple, like Google, like Amazon. They're nice and everything, but they're too costly and they don't give you back enough for what you're paying for one share. So it's going to take more of your money to get a chunky return. I ran the numbers on Apple. I would get $3,000 a quarter off of $1 million. That wasn't worth it to me. Coca-Cola, I'd get about $7,600 a quarter. That wasn't worth it.
Yeah, but if you add them all together.
No, but you've got to look. Okay, so think about.
Yeah, that costs you $2 million to make $10,000.
Right, it's not worth it.
A quarter, not a month, a quarter.
So think about this, Pimpe. Right, you take $1 million, you throw it into AT&T. You make it $15,000. You take that same $1 million and you throw it into Coca-Cola. You only make it $7,000. Why would you do that?
No, I heard you saying.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, if you put all your eggs in one basket, if something happens, TT and it drops,
Well,
and dividends are really low, that's why you have. Okay, let me.
Well,
announcements to the group. Go ahead and finish.
Well, the reason, so I'm not technically going to throw $1 whole million at AT&T. I got over 50 stocks that I'm researching. And what I'm saying to you is I'm using what?
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but we're both laughing because we're watching a video. Now, remember there's a delay in the video?
Oh.
You're sitting there talking, and Mr. B
is over there.
Constant. I don't
Yeah.
know. It looked like he took a major hit, and you're all like, are you okay? Like, you got your hand on stuff.
Oh, yeah, because he got this.
She's watching you, right?
I got to.
He got this new tip on this vape, and he keeps choking on it. It's like too strong. But no. So let me say this, Pimpin. I hear what you're saying, and you can take $1 million, divvy it up in 10 different stocks. Take 1 million, divvy up 10 different ways. It doesn't matter. I'm AT&T. You gonna stop giggling like a little girl?
I'm sorry, it was funny to see.
Okay.
But you don't see the faces he's making behind you.
I see it. I'm looking in the camera. So, but my point for saying all this is you can diversify. You can do one trick pony. The dividends behind AT&T run so strong on a quarterly basis. You can look at the dividend history on any stock. And that's what I look at. And like, I'll give you an example. So I have a drip on Chevron, right? Chevron's a good dividend investment, but it's going to cost you more than AT&T. It's $124 a share.
Okay. And
their dividend for every stock you have is $1.19. Now, that is nice. Like, it's nice, but if I took $1 million and threw it into this, I'm only going to get not only, but I'll get $9,500 per quarter back. So, I'm using this as an example. And you can even do some of this stuff, like if you can afford it. I do a drip with Chevron now. They take, I think, $50 a month out my bank account, and then they, put it into their stock, what have you. But, I'm just giving you guys examples, ways to think, like how to invest your money, how to make your money work for you. Because my thing is, we get this money, don't spend it. You can put it in investments and spend the return. That's what I want
to be one of those 85%. That's for damn sure.
Right. So
now I want to explain something, because I think asked many times. We've talked about this several times in the group. We say hedge your bets, hedge your money, hedge your money. So let me explain to you real quick, and I'm gonna use stock as an example of what hedging is. Let's say ABC company sells a product that everybody loves when it's sunny outside. You're like, yes, the stock does really good. It goes up. The dividends pay out really good as long as the sun's out. But when it rains, the stock drops and the value really, you take a hit. So what hedging is this. So I buy one stock in which benefits when the sun's out. I buy another stock to hedge against it when it rains, so that when my stock is up and it's sunny, the one that I have for when it rains is down. But it doesn't make a difference. Between the two, they hedge one another. So then when my sunny stock, it rains and it starts to go down, the one I benefit for when it rains goes back up. That's what hedging is. Those are, you buy two stocks that actually are opposite of each other, like yin and yang. So one that benefits from when the sun is out, and the other one that benefits from when it's raining. So that when one is doing good, the other one's not doing as good. And they go back and forth like this. That's what hedging is. You're just protecting your money.
Right. Well, guys, I think this is a great conversation, cocktail or beverage.
Well, it was good. Miss Phoebe has some damn good ideas I wasn't even thinking about.
I mean, for real, everybody did. You guys both did. I mean, honestly, I feel like I'm underplanned, but I feel like I'm on the track for my plan. I love y'all's plans. I need to incorporate some of the ideas that you guys had into my own plan.
Well,
when this thing hits, we're all going to sit down on a damn table, drinking a glass of Moet, shooting the shit about what we want to do for real.
Exactly. That's what the whole
idea to share them. And that's what I was trying to tell the people. Look, man, when we're done this helping, but the next day, share ideas, man. You never know, because it could be something that could benefit everybody.
Exactly, y'all. That's the whole thing, okay? Share love. Well, this was a strategic conversation about what we plan on doing based upon a cocktail and conversation. And I thank everybody for showing up, and we will talk to you guys another night. Good night.
Good night.